You welcome back to DOREEN'S African Experiences. I was supposed to give you a video today, but I've been quite overwhelmed. So I decided to stay and sleep in today. The title of the video is saying, "We arrived at the weekend, but at what cost?" At what cost indeed? You people, this week was tough, even for me. I rarely admit, but this time I will admit. The week was tough, but we are here, going to another week. I figured I could come and check in, because I know some of you worry when you don't see me. You worry when you don't see me, but I come in and check. Oh, we have someone here. How are you? It's night in Uganda, and I woke up at about, I've been up, but I've been up and down. But then I went and slept again. We discussed my situation last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when I told you that I work day and night and I'm always busy. So I use my weekends to shoot content and to sleep. And then maybe sometimes if I can, I go out with my friends. Yes, I have friends. When you come and you're watching, send something, send a message and say hi, Doreen, so that I know who is watching. Well, I have 3 people. Maybe my lives should always be at night, because clearly, hi, Don Joseph. It's nice to have you here. I'm in my element today. I've never shot in my own house before. Maybe I should, I won't give you a tour this time. Soon, eventually, I will give you a tour of my house, maybe. Anyway, so basically this week has been insane. Where do I start from? But the good thing about it moved quickly. But the few moments that were captured in the week were harsh. Hi, Best News. I'm good. How are you? It's nice to have you here. A pleasure to have you, all of you. So, well, someone said something today. I really, really wanted to get it through. Someone said that if you do work, any kind of work, don't defend your work. This is not a thesis. Okay. Let your work speak for you, especially in construction. So we were running down a project, some math, and then someone said, "Mandarin, me, I don't want to explain my work. I want people to see my work and ask who did this." Man, that thing took me out. And then it got me thinking, anyone that's doing any work that is visible, forget people who are working on computers and stuff like that. Even that work is visible, but it's not visible to everyone else. It has limited access. But if whatever you're doing can be seen by people, your fashion designer, an interior designer, your builder, your mason, whatever you are in your respective area, make sure you do your work and people ask, who did this? Not because they're trying to bash or say the work is bad, but they're trying to actually, hire you. Do you realize that some of the work we do, people hire us based on seeing it? Someone can see something and say, I want the person who did this, and they will look for you. You didn't leave your number on that building. You didn't leave, even some of these people probably don't even like you, or may not even wish you well, but somehow, somewhere, someone sees your work. Someone is seeing what you're doing. Cement prices. Those are easy. I can just make a call, but now I'm using my phone and I have one phone. When I make a live tomorrow, I'll make a live tomorrow. I'll make another one tomorrow. I'll give you the cement prices updates tomorrow. I'll give you. What else do you need? So that I call at once and then I'll relay the information to you at once. But tomorrow I'll make another live during day this time, not night. and then I'll leave the new cement prices up. But from what I know, construction material is just, hi Africano, nice to have you here. Construction material prices are not too high, not too low. Obviously higher than they used to be, but they're slightly lower than they were after COVID. Yeah. Meanwhile, do you know why the prices went up? We have a problem as Uganda. Most of our material is exported, and Uganda is a landlocked country. So Uganda being a landlocked country, every time our country has a squabble with Tanzania, with Kenya, you're going to find prices of certain things going up. Why? Because the other countries are now trying to press you. Hi, Africano, hello. You're going to find people pressing you, pressing us down. Sometimes they'll refuse to give us things, or sometimes they will hike the importation prices of some of those things, and sometimes they will completely refuse to import. They will put tax dues that are higher than usual, and then the importer is worried if they get their product in, will it sell? So they find a way of increasing the prices of what they already have on ground, even if it was cheaper to bring in, and see if the market reacts positively. Are we together? So usually that's why the prices keep going up for us, because Uganda is a landlocked country. But maybe the president, I don't want to discuss politics, but the president is trying to make relationships with our neighbors, and they have a good understanding. Because even those countries suffer. For example, Rwanda oftentimes suffers, especially in the food sector, because they get most of their food from Uganda. Actually, they get most of their food imported from Uganda. So every time they have an issue with Uganda or any kind of issue, you're going to realize that Rwandese are now, they will be complaining about something. And then at some point it will be the Kenyans saying, we won't take your maize, we won't take your eggs, because there was an era where eggs were expensive and then they became cheap. Usually our prices are highly affected by the current situation on ground. It even has nothing to do with production costs. Production costs can go up, but the prices don't hike immediately. They gradually hike. And another thing that you have to also know is that we pay indirect tax. So when we pay indirect tax, for example, let me give you an example. When you go to those Western countries, when you're buying something, when you look at their receipts, they will include a tax fee. Yes. And then most of them will keep their receipts, and then they'll do their taxes maybe at the end of the month or something, and then they'll have to maybe get tax refunds or something. But for us, we don't do that here. It's the companies that supply us and sell to us that do that. Are we following? So when they are selling to us, yeah. Definitely, we need to do more. So when the companies are producing their merchandise and they set a price, that price includes tax dues, production costs, everything is inclusive in that price. So when they're reading the budget, sometimes you hear certain prices going slightly up. Usually, I don't know, it's always something to do with the economy at the time. But usually the budget sets the economy pace throughout the year. But sometimes the whole thing doesn't just work out. It gets out of hand. I'm not going to discuss economy here. But yeah, so for us, when you go to the shop, you buy something, the person gives you back your balance. They're not going to reduce and say, okay, you've bought cooking oil at 15,000 and now this is the price for the cooking oil, so you're going to give us an extra 2,000 shillings for the taxes. Nah, they'll just give you your whole balance back. But for them, even them, when they were buying or purchasing, their price also included the tax. So we're also paying the tax. So the person has to add on to that to make a profit. Business. One day we'll sit down and do business. So now let me run you down through some of the things about my week. So I have a couple of friends that's actually stood out for me this week, and I appreciate you all so much. I don't even think they're watching me now. They're probably in a bus somewhere. Anyway, but someone had a topic going on this week that had me thinking. The first topic was about doing your work. Whatever you do in life, always do it so well so that people have to look back to your work. So that when people look back to your work, they don't curse you out and say, who did this that doesn't know how to do this? You know, whatever you do in life. For me, I have a thing. If I don't want to do something, I don't do it. Me, I don't do half-ass shit. Like, I don't do half work. When I don't want to do something, I will tell you to your face, I won't do it. The reason I do that is because I just don't want to do poor work. I don't want to do bad work. It's the money is good, but don't let life be only about the money, because somehow you're building a brand. For example, the kind of brand I'm building for Doreen as Doreen's African Experiences is going to be a brand that you can recommend to somebody and they're not going to hesitate to approach me, to come and probably hire me for something. I'm trying to build a relatable brand, a brand that can help everyone, where it's all inclusive, not limited. I don't know if it makes sense. Then the other thing now, somebody made a topic this week. The other topic was, you know, when you have friends who are doing better than you, I don't know if it's just me or it's just in my country, but people have a tendency of having, for example, businesses. Then they're constantly complaining. We don't have clients, things are not moving, everything is so bad, economy, this. But they are not closing shop. They've never been evacuated or chased out for failure to pay rent. Their children are studying, their houses are fully paid, they have projects running, they have things going, but they are always complaining about how bad things are in their life. Number one, don't listen to people like that. Most of these people want to discourage you from learning from them, from picking a leaf. Let me give you an example. I have a project I want to start in probably 3 months. It's a very small project. I think the whole capital for it is like 5 million Ugandan shillings maximum. This whole thing, I want to put it in a location. You try to do research on construction materials and tools, things about that, but I never see bathroom and toilet materials on your page. Hello, Mama of Uganda, Uganda forever. Oh, Jaman, it's nice to see you here. And yes, best news, I've actually produced these prices for toilet materials. There is a video I made for Nsimbi. Now, there is a gentleman called Nsimbi. The video is called, what is it called? But it's there. By the way, I've tried to run through every aspect of construction, but obviously I have to update some of these prices. But I always try to leave contacts of these suppliers in the videos so that no matter when you see this video, and I always emphasize it, call and ask them what their current prices are. But maybe I'll repeat it because I never did the wholesale prices for, what are bathroom things called? There is a general term. There is a general term for that. I've forgotten. But I've done a video on that. Oh, you're not in Uganda? Yes, that's why you ask. I understand, but the videos are on YouTube. But there was something I'm on, and you need to upload them all the time. They change like the stock market. Yes, that's very correct. My point was to re-upload these videos, to redocument them per 6 months. Every after 6 months, I redocument. Because, but in between there, I still hint on them. For example, now prices of cement, those ones I'm supposed to actually, my aim initially was to bring up those prices consistently. Every time I do a video, I talk about cement. I talk about cement consistently for every video I do. But somewhere in the middle, I think I lost track of that. But I'm sorry. I'll go back and revisit that and then refocus on that. Per 1 month, trust me, Yeah, Mr. German, per 1 month, that is it's going to be monotonous. You know, when you have your videos when they're just about the same thing, the people watching you get bored of you because they're like, ah, she's just going to tell us cement. Not everyone here is actually building. There are some people who come to watch my videos. For example, I have examples of people who reach out and they just want some advice, they just want some guidance, they want to start out building and they don't know how to choose the team to, there is a lot of aspects in construction. And then for me, I give my little advice that I know, and then they build off that and they continue from there, or they run through other people to get more answers. So maybe what I can do is, since when I do my lives are really not, they're not limited to one particular thing. I do, my lives are for me to say my mind, to speak my mind, because previously I would make my videos for construction and then I would be there speaking my mind in them and they would be so long. So I changed that. I figured I could just give you construction separately on my videos, and then when my lives come up, I'm just talking about what I feel, my mind, what I'm thinking. You can pick my brain from here. Yeah, maybe to also keep up with my week, because usually I live a very interesting life. The kinds of things that happen to me are insane. If I told you everything that happens in my life, people would wonder, where does she live? What type of life does this girl live? I see so much, I go through so much, I experience so much. Actually, this is DOREEN'S African Experiences. That's the name of the channel. That means I'm supposed to give you my full life experiences, but trust me, I can't even give you my full life experiences. I know. It's a whole ecosystem. I understand. I'll try to work on that. I'll try to throw some of these things in going forward. And maybe this week I will redocument. For example, now Best News has expressed interest in the bathroom setting stuff. That is like, you people, the term has gone out of my head, but I know what he wants. So I'll document a video on that this week. Then I'll update you on the prices of cement tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll tell you, because for that one I just have to make about 6 calls and from different locations within the same country, so that I understand where in the central five sellers, they tell me. I call in the east, they tell me. The west, they tell me. And then in the north, they tell me. The eastern, they also tell me, so that I come up with a marginalized price. Usually, by the way, when I'm giving you these prices, they are not just for one location. I do a lot of research. Like, I do so much research. Then starting from today, I started charging people who come to my DM asking me for information. Nange njagala sente. For the longest time, I've always given out my information for free. But you must understand, I have a life to live. And some of this information, I pay to get it. And if I don't pay, I'm investing, maybe transport-wise. I'm putting resources out there to get this information. So what I can give you for free, you can always find it on YouTube. But if you reach out to me personally and you want information, I'm going to charge you what I'm calling a consultation fee. Yes. And today I got my first consultation fee. I'm actually quite excited about that because, like I said, we're living in this life to make our lives better and your lives better. Because I don't see why I shouldn't make my life better. I don't like begging, but if I have a brain that you can pick and benefit from, kindly just pay me something. And I'm not asking for a lot of money. I'm asking for average money or little money. I can never call money little because sometimes you don't have it. So it can't be little. And also, a little it depends on someone. So when you ate bibadde ki bivuddeko oba tukyaliko mbalaba. naye sibitegedde. So like I said, I have a business line that is, it's +256 7790 When you reach out to that number, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to take it as business. Yes, even if we are friends, I'm going to take it as business. I'm going to start handling it as business. Then there is another thing I've started to do. I've been having a lot of companies reach out to me trying to merge to become, how do I put it? They want me to document their processes so that I put them on my channel and then they pay me. They pay me according to what happens is, now for me, this is my deal. I have someone on board already. But what I wanted, because I don't want people to pay me like an advert. I want people to pay me like a service. You understand? Because I don't advertise as an advertisement. I provide a service. What I want is this. When you come, I'll shoot for you a video for your construction business. When I put it on here, I charge you per every client you get from me. And the other thing that I also want, I want you to provide information of this client to me so that I ask them what their experience was with you. Are we following? So if your client or someone who comes from my channel comes and supports you and they tell me that you dealt them bad cards, like your service was so bad or you treated them badly and you didn't even apologize or try to fix it, and I get more than one person saying that, obviously I'll first talk to you. But if you're not able to fix your service, then I will delete your video from my channel. Do you get me? That's why I don't want anyone to pay me as an advertiser. I want someone to pay me on a commission base, whereby I will put your video up when you get a client from my channel. So anyone that's watching me, if you go to buy from some of these people that I'll mention going forward, tell them that you got their contact or you saw them from my channel, so that I also get paid, because now that's like a job. It's a side income for me, because I'm providing a service for them and also earning some little money from them. Because I'm not earning from YouTube, something is wrong with them. I did everything right. They haven't given me my PIN and I can't force that. But I enjoy shooting. I enjoy providing my content. So me, I continue to do that. Whenever they feel they want to pay me, they will pay me. But for now, there are other ways you can get money from YouTube, and that's one of the ways. For example, there is a gentleman from here. He went and supported one of my Tarazo people. They did a good service for him. I have to call him on Monday, but they told me they finished his work. And these people gracefully sent me some money today. And the thing is, you have to deal with honest people. Me, I deal with honest people. Sometimes someone can even say, I saw you from DOREEN'S channel, and they don't even tell you. Many of them. That's why I deleted the Chinese people from my channel, because they were making money off me and they were not paying me. Yet we even had a standing contract. For them, I had a standing contract with them long before YouTube. I don't know if we are following. So when they double-crossed me, I just removed their video. It's quite simple. Remember, YouTube is progressive. My channel is always growing. People like Jamman have been on this channel for a long time. They've seen this channel grow from less than 1,000 subscribers. And I know, God willing, people like him will continue to see this channel grow all the way to probably 1 million subscribers. It's not that I don't believe, but I know I have the content that can actually give me that, you know. Obviously, I just have to improve a couple of things. I have to get better shots. I know what I have to do. Believe me, I know what I have to do with my magic. But some of these things are just God-given. You know, it takes time. You have to be patient. You have to work hard. You have to be consistent. You know, but obviously with my my current work and schedule, I'm still trying my level best. So that's why even if I'm not uploading, I still come and make a live video anytime I do try to do that. because I want you to know I'm not gone. Just because I'm a little bit busy, I'm here. And I can still continue to serve you. For those that reach out to me, when you pay me my consultation fee, it depends on what you want. Last time I was trying to outline what the consultation will be based on. Message. One of you has already texted me on my business line. It's nice to have you. Today I got a gentleman from, I can't say, I don't think people want to be said out. And he paid my consultation fee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Actually, it was more of a try and error. But everything you have to try. You have to try. And this gentleman, this is a gentleman, a grown man. He told me, Doreen, your information is so good, you have to have people pay for your time at least. Pay for this information, because by the time someone is looking for it, they don't have it. Chances are high they've even tried and failed to get it. So they have to pay you something. You have to set the bar. So I charge a consultation fee now. I will have some money finally. Oh, God, I can't wait to have some money. You know what I'll do with my money? For starters, I want to go and start shooting content from different locations in my country. I want to first exhaust my country, because I love my country and I love my people. So I'll start from here. When I've exhausted you can never exhaust this country. This country is filled with so much stuff. But either way, I want to first exhaust my country. Secondly, I want to start running a second charity of donating sanitary towels to young girls. Teaching them how to use them. This is, I'm not ashamed to say this, but when I was younger, for me, I do some of these charities based on my own experiences. For example, the old people I feed the elderly and young mothers in every December, every Christmas. So me, I spend my Christmas. I have my family, but I spend with them the day after Christmas or the day before. That's what I do. But on Christmas, I spend that day feeding the elderly and young mothers. For the elderly, actually, my first dream growing up was I've always wanted to build a house or a home for old people, because my country doesn't have that. My country doesn't have that. I've noticed, maybe it's the culture, maybe it's the way things are, but I noticed that people in my country, when you grow old, they just throw you away. I mean, it's not that they've thrown you away. They just leave you there in a village somewhere. And these people are most times left there. I've seen so many old people die alone without anybody watching them or taking care of them. And for me, that hurts. I mean, it hurt. One time when I was young, like really young, there used to be a very old woman. That is my first trauma moment. So this old woman, she had a very huge mango tree. But because she used to stay alone, people were calling her names. Obviously, even as kids, we used to fear her, because, usually every village has that person they use as a bad example. Like they'll tell a child, eat your food. If you don't eat your food, we are going to call so-and-so to come and eat you. So she was that example. Obviously, as a child, we were all scared of her, but we wanted to eat her mangoes. So this lady, she would be there alone. She had a huge garden. I mean, village setting. Growing up for us, we had big land. I mean, we still do, but everyone around us always had big land. So this old woman would go, they would tell us scary stories. If you eat that mango, you will not wake up. If you eat that mango, you will die. Something bad will happen. Like, there were so many stories, but none of them was good. So as kids now, one time, actually, this is now where the whole story is. So we went there. For like a week, we were not seeing that old woman, because she would come out and sit in her little compound, because she was in a mud house. Because it was a long time ago. The mud houses were common and they were normal, unlike now where people have changed, upgraded, and So, but she would sit there in her compound under the sun, and then she'd be there for some time, and then she would go back in, and then she would shout. She had an attitude. She'd be like, "Go, leave." I think she just didn't like people too. I mean, I can relate. I feel like the older you grow, the less you want to be around people. The less tolerant you are around people's bullshit. You kind of just want to be in your own world. You only want to associate with people when you have absolutely no choice but to associate with them. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. So I feel like for her, since nobody really gave her the time of day or listened to her anyway. So basically, that 1 week where we barely saw her, we were so excited. So we would go for the beginning of the week. We would sneak away from home, jump, because we have like one of those, what are those called? Comeda. Because our fence when we were younger, it was like those plants, those Christmas trees. That was our fence. And then but now they built a whole wall. Anyway, but that was my village. So would sneak through, because we had created a hole through the Christmas trees, and then would sneak through to run all the way down to go and steal the mangoes. Okay, I can't say steal, but anyway, our kids would steal those mangoes, because man, the tree was big, so you start throwing stones at the tree, and then the mangoes would fall. By this time, the woman who would chase us, she wasn't there. So as kids, you keep wondering, because it was more of a habit. We were used to her chasing us, and it was fun somehow. I mean, it had become fun. We expected it, but we still did it. So for that beginning of week, we didn't see the woman. The house was closed. Midweek, there was a stench, because when we went back to now get more mangoes from the tree, there was a weird stench. So me and some friends of mine, I think one was called Ndagiri, we started following the stench, and it was coming from inside her house. But we were young, so we were like, this house smells bad. So we went home and we told people that old woman's house smelled bad. And they asked us, why did you enter her house? What were you doing there? I mean, they were a little bit dismissive. Anyway, so we went back. Now, at the end of the week, it could have been, I don't know the exact demand, that was a long time ago, but I remember it was within that same week. At the end of the week, we kept complaining. All the kids that would go there to get the mangoes would complain about the stench. You people, now they call the older people in the society to go and actually now investigate the stench. And to find the woman had died, and she was in that house for like a week, and she was decomposing. Hi, James. Nice to have you here. Sweden, hi. Meanwhile, James is a very good person. He's one of the people that made contributions to my, remember that campaign where I asked you people to give me money so that I can relocate, and you didn't give me? He's one of the few people that actually came through for me. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Where were we? So this old woman had died in that house, and you people, that was the first time for me in my life to see a dead person, because kids are curious. We went close just to see. I didn't even understand death at the time, but I saw what I saw. And to be honest with you, that thing haunted me. The image haunted me. And then I started drawing my attention to all old people. I would be there wondering, because when we were young, they had told us that only the old people die, that young people don't die. So of course I believed it. Actually, for the longest time in my life, I had never seen a person die. Like, I didn't know young people die. That was when I was younger, because only old people were dying. So, no offense, but I was young. So I used to worry so much about every old person I saw. Then when my grandfather finally passed on, that is my grandfather, my mom's dad, my mom was so broken down. And trust me, I was broken down, because I don't know anybody in my life that had ever loved me like that man. Like, seriously. He loved me so much, defended all my bullshit, and always, always was on my side. Nobody, and I repeat this, nobody growing up was like that man. So I lost my grandfather. I said, no, I cannot keep seeing old people die sad or any kind of, it broke me. So my dream since I was a child was to build a home for old people. That is it. Actually, that's how I started being interested in construction, because I started wondering, so how would I build this? I used to brainstorm alone, and I would be wondering, so I would always see a lot of old people, because where I grew up, there were many old people. And being that it was a village, of course, old people get stuck there. They throw them there. And it was always sad. So I think that's how I gravitated towards old people. So obviously, when I got the opportunity to do a charity, it had to be old people. I see a lot of people, I see street kids, but no offense, my interest is in old people and young mothers. Now, for young mothers, it's usually not for the mothers, it's for the children, because I've seen also too many of those. Some of these young girls, they drop out of school. Like, I've been to a location somewhere in Kayunga, I think it's Chisoga. You people, girls there. I'm 28. I'll be 29 in September 21st. And I don't have a child. But if I go to locations, certain locations, and people ask me, Abana Balibach, and I'm like, I don't have kids, they draw the conclusion that Nadiba, or I'm barren, or something. And I ask them, why would you even think that? They're like, me, I am 20 and I have 2 kids. And I'm like, at what point have you lived your life? At what point have you lived as an individual? At what point have you experienced enough life to actually, we're living in the 21st, approaching the 22nd century. We are not our parents. We are not our grandparents. We are not our great-grandparents. The setting then was different, whereby the young girls had no choice. They were married off because there was nothing else. There was no education. There were no dreams like that. We were not even allowed to do certain things, and lots of limitations. But we're living in a world right now where a woman can wake up and be a builder. Today, I was going up there to buy a couple of things. I saw a woman rider. She was delivering for someone food from Cafe Java's, all dressed up, all looking good, doing her job. I'm thinking, as a woman, we're living in a world where women have careers. The type of men we have these days are very different from the type of men our grandparents had, our parents had, our great-grandparents had. We're living in an equality situation whereby, as a woman, you're expected to have responsibility. I've seen majority of children in this generation and the upcoming generation being raised by single mothers. There are more single mothers than I can count. And if you're not careful, your child might face your same fate. Because the moment a child is a teenager, they start being sexual, even if they're not active. They can easily be tempted and taken up. In Africa, at least for my country, very few girls are impregnated and then they are able to be taken back to school for further education. Very, very few. The percentage is almost none. So for you to come and tell me it is okay for you to be a mother of 2 at 20, I don't get it. I don't get it. The moment you're a mother, your life ceases to be your own life, whether you like it or not, because there is that motherly instinct, I believe. All you do is for your child. All you think about is your child. I know, because I see my mother. you know. Before my mother is buying anything for herself, she'll call all the three of us and she'll be like, Doreen, are you okay? She'll say, Maureen, are you okay? Jackie, are you okay? She'll first make sure that we are all at a certain degree of okay before she gives herself what she needs. Imagine what she needs. So, how are you going to be in position to give your child any kind of life at 20? At 20. So yes, some of these young mothers don't even know they need help. You just have to educate them and sensitize them, because they're going to raise another generation of young mothers, even younger mothers than them. You know, you find a child 15 years old pregnant, and it's okay in this time and day, and it's perfectly fine. 15 in 2023, a 15-year-old who is pregnant and happy to be a mother. What kind of life is this child going to have? I'm not bashing or judging. I'm being a realist. So obviously, when I come across people like these, I will sensitize and provide whatever help I can provide. There are so many myths out here that will have you thinking you are doing the wrong thing. Being 28 without a child, or unmarried, or you're trying to build your career, they'll have you think you failed at life. Try me, not me, not me. I grew up in a community where I never saw a pregnant person in my life until I was in Form 6. I didn't even know how people looked when they are pregnant, and that's the truth. Because I was shielded so much and protected, I didn't know a lot of stuff. I didn't. So when I see, to this day, even pregnancy creeps me out. It's weird for me. I mean, I was pregnant once. I told you my story. I cried every single day of that pregnancy. I was scared. I didn't have the support. I didn't have the love I needed. I didn't have anything. I was worried. I was scared. I do research on construction, research that you all can't even find, but every single research I did on pregnancy scared me. It just scared me. One of my jobs is in a hospital. In fact, I'm even supposed to be seeing women push babies out, but I can't. I just can't. I just can't get myself to see that. It just scares me. It just scares me. But I like to see the babies when they've come out, because nothing is more beautiful than watching that. Then again, how did we get to this topic anyway? Man, I should sleep. Wait, it's even too early. I need to call my mom. You people. So that charity, I will incorporate it next year. The one for giving sanitary pads to people. Meanwhile, I took long to get my period when I was younger. I mean, I studied when I was young. So obviously, most people I was always studying with were like bigger than me. So they used to exclude me a lot. When they would give girl talks, they would say, Doreen, go and play. They would always, because I used to be so small, I was so tiny. To be this big right now, I was small. So they used to exclude me. And by the time I got my period, I must have been all like in P7 at the time. And I was about to even finish my exams. And the little I knew at the time was, you'd feel nothing. There would be no pain. You people, I nearly died. My first experience. So obviously, I know there is a lot of girls that's going through what I went through. Just to dress a pad, I had to self-teach, and there was a lady who used to do it for me, and it was a struggle. So I kind of want to sensitize the young girls on that, because tampons are not really a culture here. They're not. So pads are really the culture. And they are the most accessible. They're easily accessible, because you can even go to an elite supermarket here and they don't have tampons. See? Accessibility for tampons is not, it's not. And they are very expensive. Here, So what's accessible and affordable are pads, sanitary towels, or what you locally call pads. So I definitely want to add that into for every bad experience I've had growing up, I want to sensitize and help. Yes. For me, that's the kind of life I want to live. Anything other than the things I want to fix, they are secondary. And no offense, they are. They are. So next year, I'll be incorporating that charity. I'll be picking one school at a time. I go and sensitize the young. Because these days, girls are so healthy. I wouldn't even call them, I don't want to use that word because they're young. Girls are having their period as young as 7, 8. Man, eh? I think for us, we were just poorly fed growing up. Because, man, the children of these days, and most of these men are so shameless. And the parents are here braiding these girls and they look so mature, but they are young. They are so young. It's crazy. And then these shameless men, I mean, not all, but some, shameless, Anyway, so we just have to sensitize. We'll start young. We definitely have to start young. We can't start from the older girls because those ones are already pre-exposed. But then there is young girls. There are schools out there where there are girls who can't even afford sanitary towels. When a girl gets her period, she doesn't even go to school. And that's the truth. You people think these things are stories. She has to stay home and then put clothes under there and keep changing them per 30 minutes or something, washing. If she's going through her period for 3 days or 4 days, that would be a whole day of constantly washing, hang, wash, hang, wash, hang. She can't go to school in that state. So we have to find ways of even sensitizing these parents because it starts from home. As a parent, you can always grab a 3,000 shillings, 2,500 and, buy your child this. But no, most of these parents are like, because they're out there. They were never exposed. We have lack of exposure in this country. And that has left a lot of our people behind in so many aspects. Even people who act like they're exposed, they're so unknowledgeable about things. We have so many norms, so many culture norms that should be broken, no offense. So many myths, that only traumatize. They don't help anyone anymore. So many. Man, some of these myths will have you wondering, for me these days, before I follow a myth, I first ask myself, chinyambirawa. In the comfort of my bed, I can talk all night just to pass time. But it's always a pleasure to have you here. Tomorrow, I'll definitely upload. I have a gypsum video in the making. Remember the first one we did, it was not well explained. It wasn't even supposed to go up, but I'd invested in it. I put it. But now I had to redo that video, which I did. And I'll be putting it up tomorrow. So you will all fully understand what gypsum is. See? Mbera mbalowozaako. For now, I have to go and see you tomorrow. I'll probably do a live, and for those that are requesting for prices of material, I'll bring them up tomorrow. If not in the live, then I'll document a video. But chances are high, it will be in the live. Because for this week, I'm just going to do lives, except for tomorrow. I'm just going to do whatever information I have to deliver this week, it will have to be a live video. So you have to come and check through my live section and keep track. Like I said, we arrived to the weekend, but at what cost? At what cost? I love you all. I appreciate your support, your dedication towards my channel and me. I don't take that for granted. I've never taken you people for granted, by the way. I do appreciate you. So thank you for helping me grow. A lot of you have advised and guided me. You know, you've supported me. You've always had my back. That's rare, man. It's rare. And for me, I feel like I have a whole life outside my actual life, and I love this life. I love my YouTube life. Funny thing, people in my actual life rarely watch me. They don't even watch me. Like, there are some things that I be doing on here, and these are some of these people are even going through these problems, but they don't know. They don't know I be giving solutions there, and I'm not repeating myself in life. What I say on YouTube, I don't repeat. If you want me to repeat, you pay me. Hey, I come here, say it for free. You want it again, repeated? Toa pesa. Toa pesa, guys. Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. But that issue of business that I hinted on earlier, you people, don't stop yourself from doing anything just because someone you know is doing it. Because you don't know how they'll feel. Don't care. We all have our own blessing. Musime Patrick. Hi, Musime Patrick. It's nice to have you here. Never hesitate from doing a business, from getting into a field, from achieving anything just because someone you know is already doing it. You could be married to someone and they are a software engineer, but you also want to be a software. Go be a software engineer. If that person is not secure enough to understand that you can be two software engineers in the house, let them go. Because you have to be crazy for you to be so insecure and have someone not pursue their dream just because you're doing it. You know, obviously, if you're married, okay, that's a bit weird. But if you're just friends and someone is doing a business and you want to get into similar business and this person is not helping you, guiding you, ignore them. The stranger you don't know is going to give you the best advice. People you know don't want to see you develop, and that's the truth. They don't. Majority of them want to see you where they are, especially if they have the upper hand. If someone has the upper hand on you, they don't want to see you do better, because there is that sense of that ego that comes with someone feeling like they're better than you. And it's here. People will pretend, but they know it to be true. I know if someone cares about you and wants you to do better in life, they won't keep spoon feeding you. They will find ways of taking you to the source of where they are getting whatever they are spoon feeding you. They'll say, Doreen, man, I'm shipping certain things from China. Yeah, I know some guys, I have some contacts. Look for money. I take you. You also start shipping, you make some money. That is someone who wishes you well. And some of you, even if they wish you well, you just keep whining. Someone tells you, I have suppliers, look for money. Come on. Take out a loan. Take out a small loan. Ship. If things fail, you have to learn to take risks. But for anything you do it like your life depends on it. Don't just do things. But stop taking advice from your friends. I saw this week. I've seen it too many times. Your friends want you where you are. These bad friends we have, people who will call you to drink, but when you have a problem, there'll be nowhere to be seen. Uganda is insane. People will collect money to book a table, an alcohol table. Like, you'll find 10 people on a table with drinks worth 2 million, 3 million. But get off that table and tell them, guys, my rent is late. Oh, guys, I'm sick, or my child is sick. Oh, guys, I need to, add some capital to my car business. Sirina nange sirina. Make a mistake of telling them, guys, are we going out tonight? Hey, let's go. Ezebala, weziri. Ezembaga, weziri. What are those other weird things you people do? Similar birthday parties, weziri. But developmental things, teziriwo. Look at you and your friends. Just big heads for nothing. At your big age, you are there still collecting money, but to go and drink. Banamwe. Go and drink your own things. Kale once in a while. Naemwe. Yeah, what do I know? Don't take my advice. Doreen knows nothing. This is me ranting. This is how I'm spending my Saturday, ranting, speaking my mind. Please don't take me seriously. I beg you, don't take me seriously. Don't take things I say here personally. Nange sina chemanyi amagezi genina matono nnyo ate mwe mumpane ku magezi wano. You know? Kati nze amagezi gembawa gayinza okuba nga gabulamu temugatwala nnyo. Dear Lord, I should leave you people. Anyway, it was a pleasure to be here. Actually, I wanted to experience this and try it out. And I'm glad I did because I like it. Have a good night. Have a nice weekend. We arrived to the weekend, but at what cost? The cost was too great this week. Getting to this weekend was expensive. Let's see how it goes. I hope it is better. I hope we stay alive. I hope God takes us through, and I hope we are able to achieve whatever goals we've set, and even more. Even those we've not thought about, I hope we get them. You know, good things only. Positive thinking. Mbalese ngenze 56 minutes ninga abulirira ninga ali mu church. Ne church temala 56 minutes. Ngenze.